and today will host its 4th MLS Cup. The Galaxy, with its trio of high-profile designated players, look to put their hands on that cup ahead of the Houston Dynamo, who had to scramble to make the playoffs. They made it, and they've made the most out of it. It is the 2011 MLS Cup, LA and Houston.
It's the stage where the season, 90 minutes, and one moment of glory collide to crown a new champion. For the Galaxy, it's the final frontier in a demanded coronation. A team of superstars, Beckham, Donovan, Keane, supported by unexpected heroes.
It's McGee again, scoring in every playoff game this year.
All sharing one goal. But the Orange Crush do not fear Fortress LA. Hot at the right time.
Just like that. Hey no, hey now.
Houston must tackle the adversity of losing its fallen dynamo.
That's the last thing you want to see if you're Houston.
But veteran striker Brian Ching has risen to this occasion before.
Oh, he ties it! Oh, what a great goal!
It's the 2011 MLS Cup final. The Los Angeles Galaxy versus the Houston Dynamo.
Welcome to the MLS pregame show presented by Volkswagen. You're watching the MLS pregame show, again, presented by Volkswagen. It's the 2011 MLS Cup. Two teams looking for their 3rd trophy, and for the Galaxy, the 3rd team to be able to play at their home digs, the Home Depot Center. Glad you could join us. I'm Max Bredos. It's a big game, so we bring in a big crew. Some gentlemen who know a little bit about playing in the MLS Cup. 2002 champion Alexi Lalas, Alejandro Moreno, who's won 3 cups for 3 different teams. Awesome. And Taylor Twelman, awesome. Who came very close. Almost. Former MVP here. Already. Gentlemen, this is a big game, and there are a lot of storylines that we'll be watching. But one of the main ones, the biggest one, and part of the reason many people are turning this game on all over this country, it's David Beckham.
Biggest one for me, without a doubt. The most compelling story. This is why you watch this game, to see how this story ends for David Beckham over the last 5 years. Does it end with that iconic image of David Beckham here in the Home Depot Center in front of the Galaxy fans, raising the MLS Cup with the confetti coming down? We are the champions playing, and that image that lasts for years and years and years and goes all over the world.
Of course, and shocking, it's all about the stars for you, Alexi, because
yes, it is.
It's about the 2 teams, 2 different matchups. Galaxy, home field advantage, coach of the year, 3 designated players. Houston Dynamo, they've come here, not expected to get here, 9-game winning streak, and let's be honest, you don't know if you're ever going to get back here, Alejandro. It's the team that controls their emotions tonight will win this game.
You cannot take this game for granted. Again, there's no guarantee that you're going to be back here. So you have to take that emotion out onto the field and turn it into a positive. Can you do that with some consistency, individually and as a team? If you do that, you'll get a result tonight.
Gentlemen, you make very good points down there, but let's bring it back to Beckham. And that's part of the reason this place is packed. There is all sorts of media attention from all over the globe focused here on the Home Depot Center. And for the LA Galaxy, since David Beckham has arrived, their branding has been up, their revenue through the roof. They just signed a $55 million TV contract. The one thing missing, the trophy for Beckham. He spoke earlier about his stay in Los Angeles.
It's been great. You know, if this was to be my last game, then I'd look back on the 5 years and I'd say it's been successful. It's been successful, especially off the field, watching this league grow, watching the attendances grow. On the field, the last 3 years have been the most enjoyable of the 5, especially this last one. But since Bruce Arena arrived, since we've had stability throughout the club, you know, it's been enjoyable. Living in California, don't need to say much more about that.
Beckham's wild ride began 5 years ago with massive expectations and unprecedented exposure for the league. Beckham and the hype surrounding him debuted in mid-season 2007, but injury limited him to a disappointing 5 games. It got worse in 2008 under new head coach Ruud Gullit. Beckham even feuded with Landon Donovan, but things were about to change. Gullit was fired and Bruce Arena hired to turn things around. 2009 was the ultimate roller coaster. An early season stint at AC Milan had Galaxy fans furious when he returned. But LA finally became a team, with Beckham helping LA to the MLS Cup. Injuries limited his career in Major League Soccer. A torn Achilles suffered in Milan ruined the first half of the season. Again, LA finished strong, but fell short of the ultimate goal, a title. This year, Beckham had his best season with 15 assists, and LA has rolled to today's MLS Cup. Fifth year for David Beckham has been his best in Major League Soccer. And Alexi, you were the president general manager of the LA Galaxy when Beckham arrived. When he arrived with the circus, where things were going every which way, it has settled down nicely. Looking back at these 5 years, did MLS get what they expected from Becks?
I think so. When you look at it from a business standpoint, the LA Galaxy, I'm going to say it, they're a super club. All right?
You heard it here first.
No, this is like the third or
As many
fourth time.
people hate this team as love this team. They are known all over the world. So for that brand, it's been incredibly valuable. On the field, different story. As I said, this 90 minutes will go a long way to defining David Beckham's legacy. It might not be right, it might not be fair, but that's the situation. The last game that you play, he goes out, gets to ride off into the sunset as a champion, the way he did at Manchester United and Real Madrid.
Yeah, he may have been here for 5 years, Alexi. You talk about legacy, it's tonight. Because he won at Real Madrid, he won at Manchester United, last year of your contract. If he does not win tonight, Alejandro, it's incomplete. But he may be the biggest difference maker on that field.
When he has to be. He's the prom king, he's the cool kid, he's the guy, he's the main guy. He's the guy that you expect to put the ball wherever he wants on the field. He's going to serve a good ball. Can they get in the end of it? Can they win tonight?
And it has to be said, if the Galaxy do not win this game tonight, not only is it a major disappointment, but it is a failure. This team has been built to win MLS Cup, the most expensive team in MLS history. For them not to win it would be a complete failure.
And if they win it, they may be the greatest team in MLS
Without a
history
doubt.
so far.
Without
So
a
there's a
doubt.
lot riding on this game for LA.
If they're, and David Beckham, when he began, so did the designated player era. He was the first. There are now 23 in this league. Players are making better money. He may not be the most popular player amongst the players, but talk about the difference that he has had with regards to this league taking off.
Yeah, he's obviously had a lot with Thierry Henry, Rafa Marquez, Robbie Keane coming over. But a lot has to give credit to what this league's done with soccer-specific stadiums. And I'm not one that's going to give all the credit to David Beckham, because the fact is, you go to Seattle, Portland, Philadelphia, Toronto, LA, all these places, it's selling its own product. David Beckham's been part of that, Alejandro, but a big part of this is now there's an experience when you go to an MLS soccer stadium.
And I agree with you, Taylor, but reality is that the brand of MLS is in a better place today than it was 5 years ago.
Yeah,
but I don't live in reality.
And listen, there were people kicking a soccer ball before David Beckham, and there will be people kicking a soccer ball after David Beckham. But you can't underestimate the value to the Galaxy and to the league.
And David Beckham's commitment through the years has really improved this league to the point where he might be lifting an MLS Cup. Now, the Galaxy and David Beckham, they have one obstacle in their path, and that's the Houston Dynamo that really had to work
Wait, there's
hard.
someone else playing?
Indeed there is. They had to work hard to make the playoffs. They made it, and it's paid off in a big way. But they're going to go into this game without their best player, Alexi, Brad Davis.
So disappointing, an MVP candidate, and generated so many opportunities offensively. So how do you replace a guy like this? You don't. You got to spread it around, and the Houston Dynamo tonight are going to have to find different ways to create opportunities, but they're going to go back to the well in terms of set pieces. I've said it before, I say it again. This is how Houston wins tonight.
This is what you were wearing at breakfast, wasn't it? I love set pieces.
Exactly.
Hey, we saw in the second half, Adam Moffett stepped up, delivered good balls in the box. Concerning for me, if you're a Houston Dynamo fan, Alejandro, real simple. Brad Davis has started every game. Tonight you have a new left side of the field, Corey Ash, could be Jermaine Taylor, Colin Clark, whoever that is. It's a little concerning with that chemistry.
And that left-hand side is going to be challenged by David Beckham. He's a guy that roams about with some freedom. He's going to serve a good ball. Who's going to step up defensively, and who's going to occupy Beckham defensively? Who out of that left-hand side is going to make a difference for Houston?
Big time.
By the way, that set piece shirt available on AlexiLalas.com for purchase, perhaps.
That's a one-of-a-kind, my man.
You know, there are a lot of storylines in this MLS Cup, and it's the David versus Goliath matchup. Goliath is the Galaxy. David is wearing orange. Now, can they find their target with that sling? Let's hand it off to the guys who are calling the match, Ian Dark and John Harkes.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Max. LA Galaxy, all the headliners, all the charisma, But don't write off Houston. 9 games unbeaten. They've won the last 5. And they have a tremendous team spirit and belief, don't they, at the moment?
Absolutely, Ian, and the chemistry is very important. Timing is everything. When you have the momentum and you're coming into this cup final, that can be the biggest difference in the world. I mean, you look at this team under Dominic Kinnear, Carr up top in terms of that pace. He can break down the back line. Ching is well experienced. But the one player that's made a huge difference, Jeff Cameron. They put him back into the center back position next to Bobby Boswell. Great balance, versatility, excellent in the air, and coming forward out of the back, he is great with his feet. Very technical player.
They're unbeaten since he went back there. And Luis Camargo, don't forget him, the creative midfield player. The Houston fans, some of them, have traveled 24 hours by bus to be here. Now, what about LA Galaxy? It is a star-studded lineup, but don't forget the supporting cast, because they've certainly played their part as well.
Well, absolutely. I mean, you look at the players, the things that the difference here is there's one change, and that is you're coming inside, and you know, you got Beckham in there and Janino in the midfield, but Crispin stopped up top with Keane, and he's a big player physically. He's going to make a little bit of difference. Keane can come underneath and get the ball to feet a little bit more, but this is the team that's going to be fighting for each other at home.
8 of that team losers in 2009. They want to be winners here. A lot of pressure on in that regard. Making his debut in MLS Cup is Robbie Keane. He's had a fantastic week with Ireland. He's talking now with Monica Gonzalez.
Robbie, with Adam Crispin starting by your side tonight, what's the game plan for you offensively?
Yeah, I think it's probably much of the same, really, what we've been doing all season. Chad and Adam are quite similar. They like to play high up and let me drop off and get in the hole and try and get on the ball. So pretty much of the same, really.
You've had quite a big week with your Irish national team. Describe what a victory tonight would mean for you professionally.
Yeah, I think it'd be obviously great. I mean, it capped the week off for me. It's been a tremendous week with me with the national team, and to come back here now and to be in the finals and to win would be obviously great for me.
Thank you, Robbie. Good luck tonight.
Cheers.
He's super sharp at the moment and promises me that the Irish celebration the other night before he flew back to LA comprised, in his case, only orange juice. Let's get back to Max and the team.
Thank you, guys. We'll get it back out to Ian John to call the game shortly. Now we look at the MLS Cup titles. DC United lead it with 4. LA and Houston looking for their 3rd. LA have been to 7, and that, MLS Cups that is a league record. All right, guys, we can go a lot of different directions. Who is the guy that could sway this game one direction or the other? Who's your pick?
Well, I got to go with Brian Ching. This may be his last big moment in Major League Soccer. So can he come up with another big goal in another important moment for the Houston Dynamo? It's a challenge for him. He'll have a good challenge against Omar Gonzalez in set pieces. Can he rise up again?
Yeah, and a big part, Alejandro, has been Brian Ching being a target forward, allowing the midfield to get into the play. But the fact is, there's no Brad Davis for the first time. Jermaine Taylor, Corey Ash are going to man that left side. The chemistry behind Jermaine Taylor, he's a center back. Now he's playing left back. Is Corey Ash going to keep Sean Franklin at bay? Is he going to get in behind? Because if Sean Franklin can overlap, then Alexi, that allows Omar Gonzalez to do what he does best, and that's defend.
Look, for me, it's Omar Gonzalez. This guy has been incredible all year for the best defense in Major League Soccer. The defender of the year for Major League Soccer. What's going to be interesting tonight, we talked about set pieces.
Yes.
Houston has an advantage, height-wise. Omar Gonzalez is going to get pulled at different times to mark multiple men. How he marks up on those players is going to be key to them defending it, because they don't have the size that Houston does. On the other side, he always shows up offensively to either get shots on net or to drop things down. Great year for him.
He does. That's going to be key. Omar Gonzalez on
All
set
that, we
pieces.
haven't even mentioned the goalkeepers who will loom large as well. A lot to look forward to, and this place is bumping absolutely electric. Another storyline to follow. How about the coaches? One of these two gentlemen, Dominic Kinnear on your left, Bruce Arena on your right, will get his 3rd MLS Cup as a coach and break a new record. Who will it be? We'll get closer to that when we return. The MLS pregame show is presented by the Volkswagen Sign Then Drive event.
Carlos Ruiz, who consistently scored throughout the year, got the goal, we kept the 0, and that was it.
When you've been solid the whole year, you know you've come to expect that you're going to win games like this. The Galaxy has been in that spot this whole year. We'll see if they can come through tonight.
Houston can't say they are the better team here, Taylor. So how do they approach this challenge?
They're the hottest team, and they've had the chemistry aspect. First 15 minutes, and you guys can tell me, if you take the crowd out of this game, then your confidence in the game, it doesn't matter what you did in the past. It matters what you do right now, tonight. In the first 15 minutes of this game, if LA has the better of possession, creates chances, Houston's in trouble.
By the way, the skies are clear. There was raining for about 8 hours through LA, but just in time for kickoff, it's off. And now, gentlemen, your predictions. Who's going to win it? Give me a scoreline, Alexi.
LA, 3-0.
3-0.
I'm a Chivas USA player by way of the Super Classico. I cannot pick LA. I am going with Houston.
I lost 2 MLS Cups to LA, 2 MLS Cups to Houston Dynamo. I want this game to be 0-0, 17 overtimes. They call the game co-champions. I hate both these teams.
Very well put. We'll see who's win. We'll see who is right as LA and Houston prepare to meet for the MLS Cup here in 2011. Now, another thing really quick, 2 weeks since they last played. Maybe some cobwebs there. Does that swing it into one team's favor or the other?
Well, it was 2 weeks, right? But Robbie Keane was over in Europe playing games, so it wasn't like completely off. I'm very interested for MLS, Alexi, because 2 weeks, now the energy, you get to rest some minor injuries. They're definitely going to be flying in those first 20 minutes.
Yeah, without a doubt. And, you know, as we take a look at the Galaxy here, they are the overwhelming favorites. And yet, this week, when I asked people who's going to win this game, I didn't find one person that said it was going to be Houston.
Please welcome.
But I also, we just found one. But I also didn't find anyone that said if Houston won, they would be surprised, because this is MLS and anything can happen.
Houston's got to create some doubt in LA's mind early on.
And that is certainly something we're going to follow as this game begins. Commissioner Don Garber is there. LA and Houston, packed house, electric here at the Home Depot Center. The MLS pregame show presented by the Volkswagen Sign Then Drive event, where you can drive away in any new 2012 VW for practically just your signature.
You're watching the MLS Cup 2011 presented by Adidas. Just about all set to go here. This is Ian Dark with John Harkes. The game just seconds away now. You've heard a lot about David Beckham and Landon Donovan and Robbie Keane, but there are other LA players to watch out for.
Absolutely, those are the main players like on the stage here, but behind the scenes, it's the little details that count. And for me, these are the glamour boys, really. Mike McGee, he is the guy, a hidden treasure, keeps coming up time and time again, scoring the goals. AJ De La Garza, very neat and tidy out of the back. Great technique, reads the game well, great balance. Juninho, always working hard in the midfield, freeing up David Beckham and giving him space to really distribute and create in the match.
Bruce Arena, the LA Galaxy coach, it's his 5th final, 2 wins and 2 losses so far for him. But what a bittersweet night it is for Brad Davis. He is here, but of course, having been the leader with MLS assists all season, even ahead of David Beckham, he is injured and can't play in the final, which is a terrible, terrible thing. But Houston have some key men to try to foil the Galaxy.
Absolutely, without Brad Davis, it's going to be hard, but really, the backbone of this side right here, the experience of Bobby Boswell in the back, Luis Camargo, since they've signed him and brought Jeff Cameron back, they are undefeated. And also up top, Brian Ching holds the ball so well, really smart striker, puts a lot of good pressure on the back line. Those are the key players that can make a huge difference tonight, Ian.
And they've got a very smart coach indeed in Dominic Kinnear. He's won 2 MLS Cups already. He's downstairs now with Rob Stone.
Well, Coach, what's the most important thing you guys have to keep in mind for the first 45 minutes?
Well, it's the first 5 are very important. We're going to start out well. One thing we talked about is they're very good in the break, so when that ball turns over, our shape defensively has to be really smart.
Last words you said to the men before they hit the field.
So go out and win it, you deserve it.
Thanks, Coach.
All right,
appreciate
thanks,
it.
He also was involved in a couple of wins as assistant coach as well at San Jose. So there's no question that Houston, who've been followed here by a healthy support, but they're well outnumbered by the Galaxy supporters. This is a big night. Is there a sense of destiny in the air for LA Galaxy and David Beckham in particular at the end of his 5-year stint in the United States, which may or may not continue? Brian Ching, MVP in the 2006 final, injured for the following one. Houston Dynamo, what a record they have since coming into being with 2 wins in the last 5 years. Can they make it 3 out of 6 here? The bookmakers say it's very much Galaxy as the favourites, and they are unbeaten here at the Home Depot Centre all season long. 23 matches. Great atmosphere, John.
Well, it's unreal atmosphere. You can sense it here in the stadium. The LA Galaxy fans loaded up here 3-4 hours prior to kick, and they are ready to go.
So away we go, and a very early touch for David Beckham, who's been in tremendous form during this playoff series. He's created 3 goals, all for Mike McGee.
It's really been the 1-2 punch between those 2 players. The understanding. Mike McGee is certainly benefiting from the distribution of Beckham. There's nobody that crosses the ball better than David Beckham in this league.
Cameron to clear it for Houston Dynamo. They've only let in 1 goal in their 3 playoff matches, and they've improved their away form significantly as well. In fact, they've now won 4 away matches on the spin for the first time in their history. Here's Robbie Keane's first involvement, now Landon Donovan. Beckham again. Played some very nice football in cameos as well on their way to this final, Galaxy, and they've had the advantage of playing the last 3 games in their own stadium.
Yeah, it's been a very nice thing for them. David Beckham here trying to get this one early in behind the Robbie Keane, but they feel comfortable here, Ian, but there's a little bit of pressure, and the Dynamo, they know what they've got to do. It's a hard task. They've got to take the sting out of the game, the confidence out of this LA side, which is not going to be easy.
Adam Chrisman's foul. He's in the side for only his 6th start of the whole year because of an injury to Chad Barrett, a horrible injury. In training, nobody was near him, dislocated his ankle. I think a lot of the other players were horrified to see it. So there's a big chance for Chrisman tonight. Gonzalez winning the header. Chrisman battling away well. McGee, lovely ball towards Keane. That nearly split the 2 central defenders. Bobby Boswell and Jeff Cameron, those 2 have been in fantastic form on this 9-game unbeaten streak that Houston Dynamo bring into this final. They looked a club heading for oblivion, really, this season until this late turnaround.
Dominic Kinnear made a few very important changes, and he brought Cameron back to that center back position, and the signing of Luis Camargo, the Brazilian, from a Division II club. And they brought him into the center midfield, and they have just not looked back at all, Ian, since that decision's been made.
I was talking to some of the players yesterday. They were talking about the edge there is to the training as well, the belief, and they're almost in the mood where they think they can't be beaten at the moment, Houston.
There is this adversity that they've been going through, Ian, throughout the season, and just talk about how physical this game is going to be. See Chrisman going up with the elbow. Congratulations to him. Just had a child 2 days ago, his wife.
Picked up towards the veteran striker Ching. Here's Moffat trying to find a way through, the Scotsman. Lovely play by Camargo. Quick feet, neat play. Just gives them another dimension in that part of the field. Cruz. And grabbed out of the air by goalkeeper Josh Saunders. In his 2nd final, having come on as a sub and made a couple of penalty saves in the shootout 2 years ago.
You see Hayno tucking inside there, trying to double up on Landon Donovan. That's quick speed, explosive that Landon provides coming out of their own defensive end. Now watch Omar Gonzalez, number 4, coming forward here. He is certainly a target with the height and strength in the air.
Of
course, Mike McGee.
The delivery is from Beckham. It's deep towards Gonzalez. Now let's have a look at the Continental Tire Analyst Corner with John.
We talked about so many different elements in the game and various players, but Mike McGee has been this hidden treasure. He's also been the player very savvy, technically gifted on the ball, and he sneaks in behind. He gets on the end of things. Home advantage, very key for LA. Take advantage of that for Ching and Carr. Well, that pressure and speed up front, they want to make sure they dictate and try to make it predictable for their back line of LA and how they play out of that back. So they've done a very good job. They did it well against Kansas City in the last match to get here.
Is Kalen Carr to get the early crossing. He's again wearing that protective headgear, having got concussion in his time with Chicago. He says he is fit again, has no need to wear it, but feels more protected with it on. You can understand that. It's psychological really now.
Absolutely, feels comfortable here, but now Houston right here with a very important free kick. There's a handball against Omar Gonzalez on that last attempted cross. Plenty of players in the box here. Haino, Bobby Boswell, all good targets in the air.
What Houston would give for an early goal to defend here. A lot of those orange shirts forward here. Delivery towards the back post. It pins around that penalty area in the end. As Christman got it away, but here come Houston again with Moffat on the far side. Cruz. Back to Haino, a French-Canadian. Cruz again. He's been another important player for them, having got over his injury, but the brakes on here for the Galaxy. It's given away. I'm just thinking, John, home advantage is one thing for LA Galaxy, but there's also huge expectation on the players.
There is a massive expectation, and really that's towards, you know, Houston's benefit. They come in here as the underdogs. They like that rolling in. They want to take LA out of the game. Basically just closing spaces down and picking up the second ball is very important today.
Whistle had already gone there before that little incident involving Carr and De La Garza.
Remember, the conditions, Ian, are going to change the way this game plays out. Slippery, very wet. So sometimes it might be sloppy, and who's going to be clean on the passes, really connect, not make the mistakes.
The surface could be quite heavy. It's been raining for about 6 hours, up to an hour before the kickoff here in Los Angeles. Who says it never rains in Southern California? Must be joking. Nicely done. Really good interconnecting play. Juninho, this is a splendid move so far. McGee with Donovan joining in on the far side. Tremendous move by Galaxy, showing why they have been top of the standings this year for the second year running. And away by Haino, will get the throw.
That was excellent combination play, very good and crisp and clean. One touch, they really freed Donovan down that left side. He likes to overlap McGee quite a bit. Keep an eye on that, and certainly the back line of Houston Dynamo, they want to make sure players are tracking in front of them. So the midfield is important to stay with those runners.
Garza was forward there, trying to augment the attack. Galaxy did go behind here in the second leg of their game against New York Red Bulls and had to fight back in that one. We wondered which way that one might be going. It was 4 minutes in, wasn't it, that goal?
It was very early. Luke Rogers got on the inside of Omar Gonzalez, a ball from Thierry Henry. It seems to be a bit tight here with the space. This ball freed up now for Robbie Keane.
Keane Beckham looking to land that one on a dime for Keane. He's done a lot of flying in the last week. Those 2 Ireland games against Estonia. Scored 2 goals in the first of them. Was taken off after 67 minutes of the second leg, probably by arrangement with everything safe for Ireland. But this could be one of the great weeks of his footballing life, Robbie Keane.
Well, he's on a high. I mean, he certainly gets a lot of confidence scoring for Ireland. Especially he stepped up and took that penalty too, Ian. Game against Estonia.
Yeah, but I think Ireland qualifying for the first time for a big championship for 10 years. It was some party. I think that I think the players enjoyed themselves after. Quite happy to admit it as well. Why not? Heavy touch that time from Donovan, and Bobby Boswell was able to pick it up. Here's Andre Haino launching it forward down this side towards Kalen Carr. Now Danny Cruz. Houston finished 18 points behind LA Galaxy in the standings during the season, but of course in this playoff setup that means absolutely nothing, except the fact they have the home advantage. But this final was always going to be here regardless of which two teams made it.
Bruce Arena certainly knows what it's like to be in the final. His experience throughout the years. Looking to get his third title here. Both coaches, he and Dominic Kinnear, looking for that third title.
Corey Ash just moved forward to the left of midfield to fill the Brad Davis role. Good play up to a point there by Ash. He's got big boots to fill because Davis has been one of the big players on the American soccer scene this season.
They certainly miss Brad Davis. Corey Ash, though, coming into fine form this year. And I talked to Dominic Kinnear before the game, and he said, I really want Corey Ash to cut inside on his right, not just relying on his left, but he wants him to come inside across the grain a little bit more to kind of test the back line of LA Galaxy.
Player who's had to come into the side in the reshuffle, Jermaine Taylor, a Jamaican international who was actually sent off against the USA in the CONCACAF Gold Cup earlier in the year. They bought him as a centre-back. He was supposed to be filling that role, but lost his place quite early in the campaign. He's almost the forgotten man until now.
Well, the idea was for him to be there pre-season. They worked him into the center-back position, but if you look at the back line of Houston Dynamo, it's 4 center-backs playing right now on the field. Eno was a right back, he was a left back, but he's really a center back too.
It's Donovan. Could be Donovan against Taylor, a big battle on that side. Franklin joins in, as he likes to, the right back. Back to Landon Donovan again. Corner.
Good understanding between Franklin and Donovan. Great connection. And I thought that Sean Franklin was going to let it rip right there. Wet surface, put it through the traffic. With one extra pass to Landon Donovan. Houston got numbers back behind the ball.
Beckham getting a big reception from all the fans over on that corner. They're wondering if it's the last time they'll see him in a Galaxy shirt. We'll soon know in the next few days. Here comes the corner. Oh, and Crispin with a great chance. Should have scored, didn't.
Completely wide open, Adam Crispin. Lost his marker. Not a defenseman around him at all. That's a free header. That one needs to be put on frame. That's a golden opportunity gone missed. Wow, look at that. Excellent delivery again by Beckham. Nobody marking up on Adam Crispin. That should have been on the frame.
Criminal defending by Houston Dynamo.
That's a get out of jail free card right there for Houston.
They all just stood and watched Adam Crispin. And that moment might come back to haunt him. He'll hope not. Wonderful chance. Player has only started 5 games this season, and it's going to be a yellow card here early on in the game as well. Boswell, I think it is, has gone in the book. We could do without that. There are another 78 minutes still to be treading the tightrope.
Well, you see Robbie Keane here, and there's a handball right there from Boswell. Deliberate handball. Looked like Keane was going through. Pick up a yellow card early, it changes your mindset. Now as a defender, he can't go as hard into certain tackles, Ian. Like you said, walking that tightrope. And now they got to defend here against David Beckham on this free kick.
Looking for another first-class delivery. Houston need to defend this one better than the last one. That corner comes out to Franklin. Beckham again, launched into the danger zone, going a long way. You'd have to say at the moment that Houston defense looks a little edgy every time Beckham plays a ball in there.
Now, there's a lot of bodies to mark up on. Crispin brings a different dynamic too, that striker up top. You know, Barrett has worked so hard throughout the season. They're missing him. But the key factor is that they've got to mark up tight on players, and that's Omar Gonzalez, and that's also with Mike McGee, who has benefited so much from the free kicks of Beckham this year.
Keane to latch onto it. has, with the interception, just been named the youngest ever MLS Defender of the Year. Omar Gonzalez is knocking on the door for selection for the USA, but Jurgen Klinsmann hasn't picked him yet. Gonzalez again launches it forward towards Donovan. Cook up something. Should be fresh after a couple of weeks off. Didn't travel with the USA to their recent internationals. Donovan looking for the 1-2. It's a good looking ball towards Franklin. He goes through for the corner kick. ESPN's coverage of the 2011 MLS Cup, presented by Adidas and in part by Continental Tire. Innovative technology driving confidence.
You see Sean Franklin looking to get in behind Jermaine Taylor. Constant threat, always probing, looking to overlap.
All the early pressure from LA Galaxy at home in front of their adoring supporters here. Nearly fell for Adam Chrisman again in there.
That one hit the back of Moffitt. What a strange, you didn't even see the ball. They know the threat is there for Mike McGee. They put one of the best headers on the pitch, Brian Ching, a striker, on top of him to mark out. And see, Jeff Cameron was picking up on Adam Chrisman at that time, and also Omar Gonzalez becoming a threat.
He's adding his considerable height to the menace here. Gonzalez in attacking it and winning it too. Goalkeeper Tally Hall with a punch of sorts, which did the job. Galaxy looking to become MLS Cup winners for the 3rd time, as are Houston Dynamo. But it's worth mentioning that Galaxy have already been beaten in 4 finals.
Well, they've done everything they can, Ian, in terms of spending the money to make it work. They're home here, and they're looking for that storybook ending. David Beckham finishing out possibly on his last year. Will he resign? That's a big question mark. I think he'll stay.
That's a big call. I asked him yesterday, he said, who knows? So there was no world exclusive for me there.
He knows. Paris Saint-Germain has been touting him, saying that he's almost 98% going there, right?
Well,
so they say.
So the Paris papers say. Let's see what happens. Here is Beckham, right on cue. "36 years of age now, a glittering career."
Well, really, this season has been the best of his 5. He's been healthy. And I also think, too, he's embraced the MLS Cup way of playing. You know, he's really accepted the fact that he's here, and he made the most out of it this year.
I think his boy Brooklyn's playing in the under-13 academy side for Galaxy. What odds he becomes a big player down the line? Now, watching here today from East LA, of course, Oscar De La Hoya, the famous boxing champion and promoter, but with a 25% share of Houston Dynamo. He actually had one of his fights in this stadium against Steve Forbes.
I'm still waiting for him. He said he was going to paint his face orange.
Yeah, I knew he wouldn't be doing that.
Come on, Oscar.
He's been a promoter too long, you see. Way by Cameron, midfielder turned defender with great success. Cameron actually says he prefers playing there now. Unbeaten since he made that move to defence. It really has revolutionised Houston's season, but they've been on the back foot here so far, not really in it as an attacking force at the moment, but all the time they can keep it goalless like this, it will add to the restlessness of the crowd perhaps, and there is the possibility the Galaxy could get a little frustrated. Too early for that yet, though. Donovan. Chrisman. Cameron dispossessed him with great ease. And Houston have a little spell where they can just keep the ball. Not like that, they won't. Possession rather squandered. Let's put the pressure back on again. Franklin, the right back who was voted Rookie of the Year a couple of years back. Important time of the year this, coming up on Friday, the draw for Euro 2012, which you can catch on ESPN, and that's on ESPN News, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN3 Friday noon Eastern, as the 16 teams go into the various pots. It's all quite complicated, but it will be fascinating. Somebody's going to get a horrible draw there.
You know, Robbie Keane and Ireland are very excited to be there, as we said earlier, Ian. They're looking forward to that draw.
It's the big showpiece occasion of the MLS season. 10 teams in the playoffs reduced to these final 2. Now then, here's Keane looking to torment the Houston defense. Can he be the player that makes the difference tonight? Chip forward by McGee, cut out by Boswell. Remember, Boswell has been booked. Caught in possession. Not really settled yet, Dynamo.
No, I would say that the LA Galaxy look very comfortable in possession. Opening 20 minutes so far in this game. Houston, for them, the game plan, Dom said, look, the longer it stays 0-0, the better it is for us. Take the crowd out of it a little bit. Start to build up a little bit more momentum as the game goes on.
Just a bit of clarification on that European Championship draw. It is Friday, December the 2nd. That's the date for your diaries for that. Now then, Danny Cruz. Todd Donovan. Just getting the foot in. Donovan voted into the MLS Team of the Year this year, then away by AJ De La Garza. Not far though. Hano, goal scoring right back. It's been a long journey, 24 hours for some of them on a bus to be here. That's dedication. Not enough room on all the flights. Everyone lays it forward. Here is Ching. Missed the 2007 final, injured. Last time Houston were in the final, he scored in the one before that. Adam Moffat, formerly of Ross County and Elgin City in Scotland. Now playing against David Beckham in a final. Kalen Carr. Just Ching waiting in the middle. Moffat once more. There's a good spell of possession, at least for Houston. Doesn't beat Todd Donovan. Poor cross, really. Hano wins it again. He's a big physical presence. Plays central defense as well as right back. Hano.
It seemed a bit of a waste there. Jermaine Taylor really forcing the issue back inside. Got to open up the game a little bit more, get it out to Corey Ash, and switch a point of attack, Houston, if they want to be successful at all today.
Beckham again is inch perfect to McGee. Those two seem to have a telepathic understanding during these playoff games. Keelan Carr. I think Houston are wary of committing too many men forward and being caught with a quick break, which is understandable, really. They only lost 1-0 in the regular season here, and that was a penalty by Landon Donovan, so nothing from open play. Jermaine Taylor, a bit of pressure, and he's given his goalkeeper a little something to do there. Tally Hall.
Well, that's where Jermaine Taylor does not open up really his hips and see Corey Ash again. He doesn't seem too comfortable in this early part of the game as a left back. I talked about earlier, he's really a center back, Ian.
Good play by Keane. Could be a good end to a topsy-turvy year for Robbie Keane. Remember, 6 months ago he was relegated on loan at West Ham. Juninho playing this in. Rob Stone, who's with the Houston camp, has some news for us on the touchline.
Well, guys, Dominic Kinnear very animated, very vocal, off his bench numerous times already here in the opening 25 minutes. The main focus lately of his attention, Adam Moffat in the middle of the park. Number one, saying, guys, when LA plays it back, move up the back line. Number two, way too much passing out wide, back into the middle. He's saying, switch it, guys. Get it left, get it right, and do it quicker.
Thanks, Rob. He's got a bit of tactical insight. Just surrendering possession rather too easy. Donovan down the line, but not too accurately. Haino cuts it out. Houston just starting to see a little more of the ball and getting maybe a hint of a foothold in the game. Corey Ash, the all-star team from MLS, who played Manchester United in the summer. Flag is up. Galaxy, we've got a free kick here. Big mates with a central defensive partner. Omar Gonzalez in possession there. Those two were together at the University of Maryland and now reunited at Galaxy. Donovan with a lovely turn. See you later, more or less, he said to Taylor, who's got back there, goal side. Beckham. Again looking for that ball in towards Chrisman, who again has a chance and again is unable to make it count. That was a harder one.
The challenge came a bit late. We see again David Beckham just finding that space. And he always clips that ball in early. Accuracy always on. Looked like he was a bit offside at that point. Not called. Tally Hall coming out to try to thwart that. You see a little challenge there too from Haino in behind.
It's a fantastic ball, isn't it?
It's an excellent ball. That's the type of ball that he put into McGee. And he scored against Real Salt Lake. We saw that before. And really, Chrisman finding himself with two opportunities, Ian, but no goals so far for LA.
And he's had a chance, hasn't he, to put his name up in lights, Adam Chrisman here. Oh, that's a careless play. Keane. Chrisman, another opportunity. Can he make it count this time? No, he can't. They keep falling to Adam Chrisman, and none of them have been taken. That's three now.
Three hat-trick opportunities, no goals. There's a turnover here. Cameron plays this one. Taylor, a little bit lackadaisical in his approach. Really fell asleep on that one. Landon Donovan to Keane to Chrisman. Lost his footing just enough. Yeah. Got to get a strike on goal. It's a wet surface here. Keep it hard and low. Test the keeper. So far, LA failing to pull the trigger.
It was a self-inflicted wound, though, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah, but you got to look at Adam Chrisman. He comes into a situation here to fill in for Barrett. Man, has he had chances to get the goal scorer, to be that scorer early. Not finding it.
All the opportunities coming for LA Galaxy, but so far, no breakthrough. Tally Hall, the goalkeeper here, his first big season as a #1 keeper for Houston Dynamo. He knew this was going to be a busy night. Another Beckham delivery. This time it's better defending from Houston. Can they break quickly now? Here's the speedy Corey Ash. Kalen Carr, one of the many new arrivals at Houston this season. Good so far. And now, offside. That was a bit careless, really.
Well, it was a bit slow from. No, it was a bit slow, really, from Kalen Carr. I mean, really. He's looking to put the ball in behind. Corey Ash was running, asking for that ball early. Very slow thought process from Carr.
Camargo. Good run. Luis Camargo wanted the free kick on the edge of the box. It wasn't given. And Then the shot from Kalen Carr, which can underway, but Camargo does look the player, if they can get him on the ball in more forward areas, who might just be able to unlock the safe.
Well, he's that type of player that takes 15 to 20 minutes to get into the game speed. And right now, he's starting to open up.
Corey Ash in towards Carr. Just little cameos, no more than that from Houston so far.
Very smartly played there from Omar Gonzalez. Calm in the box. Back to his own keeper, Josh Saunders.
Here's Donovan. Starred in many of these finals before, notably in 2003 when he got 2 goals for San Jose. Scored as well a decade ago. Been around a long time now, Landon Donovan. Chrisman. Very good challenge by Ash, but here comes Galaxy again. They're being penned back here. Beckham. Sean Franklin to cut it back. Just have a little break in the play here with a player down injured. It's Jeff Cameron. Incidentally, ESPN2's coverage of the Barclays Premier League continues on Saturday as Manchester United playing Newcastle. Newcastle beaten by Manchester City, their first defeat of the season yesterday. That game presented by FIFA Soccer 12 on ESPN2 and ESPN3. And note the slightly later time, 9:55 a.m. Eastern. Might give a chance for you people on the West Coast to be watching at 6:55. Good game.
You can see already the field getting torn up, Ian. You said it was really soft. You and I came across, we walked on it, and it's going to lend to a little bit of mistakes, some sloppiness right now. Who reacts quicker to those mistakes, that's going to be the successor.
Janine looking to play the 1-2 with Beckham, which didn't work out. Here's Corey Ash, Houston Dynamo. Fair bit of the ball on that left-hand side. Come up with the right kind of delivery, a Brad Davis type delivery. He usually plays on that left side of midfield for Dynamo. A reminder, you're watching MLS Cup 2011, the showpiece game, the championship match between LA Galaxy and Houston Dynamo. Goalless so far, but LA Galaxy have had the chances to be ahead and have spurned 3 of them. That from Beckham with his chest. That was pure class. It is reckoned that it's a pretty good bet that David Beckham will be representing Great Britain at the Olympic Games in London next summer, and more than likely it's probably going to be the captain, because it's an under-23 tournament, but you're allowed 3 overage players. So regardless of who he's playing for, I think there'll be a little clause in the contract that allows him to be released for that. Beckham's complaining that there was a high elbow in there on Omar Gonzalez. And the referee there, Ricardo Salazar, just having a little word with Ching.
Yeah, certainly the elbow comes up. A lot of strikers always put that up. They spread their arms to protect themselves as they're being challenged by defenders. This time, catching Omar Gonzalez in the head.
Beckham again. Boswell winning the header. Well, it's been a very good season for him, Bobby Boswell. Keane, twisting and turning. It's a good play here, right across the face of goal. Nearly fell for Donovan. It's a lovely move again, and Houston were a bit bewildered, but Jermaine Taylor was in the right place at the right time at the end of it.
Well, he certainly got confused. Todd Donovan comes inside here, and he wants to return pass. Robbie Keane finds him. Great ball in behind. Look at his early service across the 6. Very dangerous area. Chrisman almost got in behind Cameron there for the touch. Just cleared out at the end.
Another Beckham corner. Lots of pressure turned towards goal by Donovan. And Houston living on their nerve ends a little back there, but still in this game and looking for what they can on the break with Luis Camargo, the Brazilian.
So good on the ball, Camargo. He had such a big difference to them in terms of possession.
Danny Cruz looks to put on the end of a little 1-2 there, but doesn't quite work out.
You see the game getting stretched here, Ian. You talked about that from one end of the field to the other. That's what Houston does not want with LA. They know they're a very quick counter-attacking team.
Beckham again towards Keane, who nearly got the little nudge it needed, not quite. And then Mike McGee.
Great vision again from Beckham, trying to find Robbie Keane. It was a very delayed run too. Watch as he just lofts it up there. Nice chip into the dangerous area. Tally Hall was very lucky to get out there. He did a good job coming out. He needed to be. Hayno just really dropped back into the goal. Did not stay with Robbie Keane on the run. Got in behind the backs. They're threatening, aren't they, LA? They're definitely threatening. They're probing. They're looking to penetrate. So far, Houston's come up strong.
It is goalless, but you'd have to say Galaxy do look as if a goal might be imminent for them. It hasn't happened yet, and maybe the Houston players will start to feel, well, maybe this might be our night. They've huffed and they've puffed, but the castle hasn't quite fallen down yet. Just the one yellow card so far for Houston's Bobby Boswell. Turned up in full expectations of a big night tonight. Donovan trying to attack every opportunity, as he's doing again now, as Keane twists and turns, typically towards Chrisman on that side. It was well defending by Jermaine Taylor. Important header. No goals so far, but I can tell you in the 3 previous finals in this stadium, there's been an average of 5 goals. That might still happen tonight. Here's Donovan. Beckham claims a handball. He's not going to get it. And another chance for Beckham to swing in one of his set pieces.
You see Sean Franklin there getting on the end of that late challenge coming in from Carr, number 3. Trying to double back as a striker and provide some pressure. LA find a lot of space though, Ian. They are switching the point of attack from left to right very well, freeing up the number 23. The man on the ball right now, David Beckham. Six players forward in the box already for LA, looking to get on the end of this.
More easily defended that one. ESPN's coverage of the 2011 MLS Cup, presented by Adidas and in part by Continental Tire, innovative technology driving confidence. Jermaine Taylor, back who shares his name with a famous champion boxer of the modern era. Now Beckham. Is that rarity? An uncompleted pass by Beckham, which didn't find his target. He's had a cold, hasn't he, the last couple of days? David Beckham.
Yeah, he missed training.
Yeah,
missed 2 training sessions, Ian, this week. Came back into training yesterday. Everybody said he was going to be fine. A bit under the weather, so you got to keep an eye on him. And the longer the game goes on, I don't know what strength, stamina that he has, but what an unbelievable professional. Desire, loves the game. He really drives this team. You know how badly he wants to win that trophy.
Well, whatever else goes on in his life, he's always been absolutely in love with the game. Donovan. Trying the cross shot. Might have the bend on it. He was looking for the goalkeeper. Comes out here and has a big reading of the riot act to Corey Ash for not closing Donovan down.
Now you saw Sally Hall and Bobby Boswell in your picture there. The experienced center back, former DC United. He was just screaming at them, saying it's way too easy. That's the first thing you've got to say. Get up and close them down. Don't let them get the shots off. Just got the feeling, though, Ian, that Houston Dynamo are running out of ideas at times. They're not finding the play forward. The options up front, they're not looking for the ball too much.
Now Boswell,
late challenge
with Crispin there. Crispin does go over to apologise, possibly in the hope that the referee doesn't reach for a card. And there is one.
Yep.
Not his night so far, Adam Crispin.
Well, he could be on such an emotional high with he and his wife having a child born 2 days ago. Certainly wants to get on the score sheet, though. Hasn't been able to do that.
Jeff Cameron. Twice in the All-Star team. Play against Everton and Manchester United. Those Gala games staged during the summer. Cameron, I wonder whether he might be somebody that Jurgen Klinsmann might give another try to. He's only played 4 minutes for the USA before. Moffat laying it wide. Houston maybe just looking to need to get a bit more tempo into their attacking play. That's easily cut out again. Crispin lays it forward. Juninho, the Brazilian. It's a lovely looking ball forward towards Keane. Very well played by the goalkeeper Hall. Quickly off his line there, John.
Yeah, you see actually the pressure from the LA Galaxy through the midfield, that stripping the ball from Moffat there in the midfield. They quickly counter. They're moving so fast as they go forward. A one-touch play, creating opportunities for the Galaxy.
Ching. Gonzalez for company. Here's Adam Crispin again. One thing you could say about him, despite the missed chances, he hasn't gone hiding. A delayed start to his season with the club because of injury, having arrived from DC United. Not too many chances, but tonight a massive one in a big game. Here he is in possession now, Crispin. Camargo dispossessed in the midfield. McGee laying it wide. Here's Keane. Covering's good from Boswell. Now the corner.
Well, you saw 2 or 3 players really, the attention on Keane. Bobby Boswell just in the right space at the right time to cover that one out for the header. But really, LA Galaxy knocking on the door. Robbie Keane looking very fit and healthy and confident. Just got a feeling that LA want to get that first goal before halftime to bring that confidence into the dressing room.
Vital for Houston that they don't concede that goal. It's swung in Hall. He's had an impressive season. Grabs it. Now Rob Stone has some more news for us from the Houston camp.
Ian, a developing situation here from Houston. Jeff Cameron, remember about 10 minutes ago, he took that hard tackle, very slow to get up. About 3 minutes ago, Corey Ash came running over to the sideline, said to his head coach, Dominic Kinnear, Jeff's hurting. During that last little break in the action, the medical staff had a powwow with Cameron. You're noticing his gait right now. It's not the way it should be. Inside of the right knee, it's certainly going to be further evaluated at halftime, but he is struggling right now in the late stages.
Thanks a lot, Rob. That's important intelligence.
You see the way he went down there, Ian. It was very awkward. Just hyperextending that. Looked like Rob said the inside of his knee, that MCL, but Eddie Robinson will certainly want to come in.
Cruz from distance. Danny Cruz, the player who didn't kick a football until he was 13 years old, always wanted to be a linebacker or a hockey player. Eddie Robinson, the veteran character, 33 years of age, beset by injuries. He's warming up, and so too on the sidelines is Hunter Freeman, who was the regular right back earlier on in the campaign. Now then, here's Keane. Space on this side. Can they make it count this time? No, they can't. McGee has been in great form in these playoffs with lots of goals. Not this time.
Creating some opportunities, a lot of space here. Robbie Keane actually lays this off. And at times, you've seen McGee cut the ball back to Robbie Keane, who is sitting on top of the 18 on his own. McGee's done so well, though. Scored in every goal in the playoffs coming into this final. Bruce Arena, when he came here, was let go by the Red Bulls. He took Mike McGee with him for good reason.
It's a bit of a miscue by De La Garza. Donovan trying to make something of that. He's still going. It's great play by Donovan and strength, and he's still going too until Moffat came back. The holding midfield player just to make the interception. It's only going to be a minute of stoppage time. Houston will be very glad to get in goalless, and LA will be asking themselves, how are we not ahead?
And those are the type of things that players think about all the time. I've been in that situation. When you miss opportunities, we don't want the negative to creep in and say, what if? You know, we missed those. We don't want it to come back and haunt us, and then we're finding ourselves 1-0 down. They should be up right now, Ian, with the chances they've had.
Seen games like this, though, many, many times before, and the side who've been on the back foot grab a goal on the break. It's sometimes the way things go in this game. Boswell plays it forward. Here's Camargo. And that is half-time. Houston are still level. Half-time report with Hot Pockets includes an interview with MLS Commissioner Don Garber and, of course, analysis of a first half where it's been very, very frustrating for LA Galaxy. Dominic Kinnear, the Houston coach, is down there with Rob.
Well, Coach, how do you describe your defensive marking in the first half?
Well, we played better. Let's put it that way. Just gonna do a better ball holding ball. When we switch the ball, we're good. It's just the point of we get caught over on one side, they'll catch us on the break. If we switch the ball, we'll play a little bit better.
How would you describe Jeff Cameron's status right now?
We'll see. We're going to have time. He's hurt his knee a little bit, and then we'll have Theron take a look at him, and we'll go from there.
Coach, appreciate you joining us live.
Thanks, Rob.
So that's one of the little half-time dramas. Can Jeff Cameron return for the second half? The vital defender. A story of misses by Adam Crispin in particular for LA Galaxy. It's goalless at half-time. We'll be back in just a moment.
MLS Cup final.
The MLS Cup 2011 presented by Adidas. The script and form book said LA Galaxy would run away with it, that David Beckham would possibly end his American career triumphantly. He still might, but it is goalless at half-time. But Houston, that's a worry, this injury to Jeff Cameron. If he can't carry on, I think that's a huge thing for them.
No, it's going to be a huge, he makes a big difference out of the back end. Very good on the ball defensively, but also distributing from there. So they hope that he's healthy at halftime. He looked a little bit awkward when he went off the field there, going into the dressing room, but a chance for them to kind of reset everything, see where he is. Hopefully he's good to go.
But there were chances, and notably for Adam Crispin, who's come into the side, and wouldn't you know it, he's the one who keeps getting the opportunities, and so far he's fluffing his lines.
Well, this is the clearest chance right here. This is the free header. You know, I know that Chad Barrett cannot play in this final. He's probably thinking, God, I wish I had that chance there. But Adam Crispin, he's put himself in good spots. Now the finishing touch, you just got to get that on frame and bury it and put it away. At halftime, I'm sure that Houston went in and said, wow, we were very lucky to get out of that situation. But now do they come out and make the most out of that opportunity? LA's got to be very careful.
Let's have a look at the first half stats presented by Volkswagen. I think we can see those in just a moment. Yeah, and it shows that Los Angeles Galaxy are dominating the game, really, in possession, shots, but no goals, crucially.
Yeah, and they got really threatened the goal for him a little bit more. And the possession's there, but no shots on goal.
Monica Gonzalez is with Bruce Arena, the Galaxy coach.
Coach, your thoughts on the first half?
Well, I thought for the most part we played well, but we were very sloppy in and around the penalty area. We didn't do well taking our chances.
What adjustments do you think you guys have to make to try to get a goal?
We got to do better with our chances. Got to be better in and around the penalty area.
What'd you tell your guys as far as breaking down the
We'll just
Houston
be
defense.
a little bit cleaner with our touches around the penalty area, a little bit more direct and a little bit more aggressive in our play.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Ian?
Thank you very much, Monica. So that's kind of what we were all thinking, really. That LA Galaxy just have to take their opportunities. Now, what have Houston been saying in that locker room at half-time to the players? Because they'll need to improve and ask a few more questions of their own. Here's Keane. When Galaxy have been level at half-time this year, well, they've won their last 8 games. Donovan, very prominent as an attacking force down that left side in the first half. Donovan. Kalen Carr, nicely done. Then Adam Moffat. And out of play from Corey Ash. Now then, what is the story, I wonder, with Jeff Cameron? Let's go down to Rob Stone, who'll be able to tell us more.
Ian, I talked to Dominic Neer just seconds ago. I said, what's the status of Jeff Cameron? He said he's going to score a hat trick. Talked to the medical staff. Everybody tell me it's just a knock on the inside of the right knee. But those 2 central defenders, Hunter Freeman and Eddie Robinson, did spend a lot of time warming up during the halftime break, guys.
Beckham's challenge.
He's saying he went for the ball. But obviously, Salazar, referee, thinking otherwise.
10 yellow cards this season, by the way, for David Beckham, the joint most in Major League Soccer, which is a surprising one.
Well, his desire and his passion, energy always puts him into tough situations with tackles, but that was a very reckless challenge. His boot was up, showing the studs.
He's saying, I won the ball, but of course, these days you can win the ball, but if your studs are showing, you could be in trouble. But I don't think he's been yellow carded there.
Not the ball. That's what he kept saying. Not the ball.
Play deep. Because it wasn't so long ago, nobody would have batted an eyelid at challenges like that. Even when you were playing, everybody would have said, yeah, great tackle.
Yeah, very aggressive. It's changed a lot, like you said. It's just trying to clean it up. Kind of miss that, don't you, Ian? Some that hard tackle, don't you?
Although, you know, you don't want to see players at risk from serious injury, obviously.
I think the idea is to keep as many, quality players on the field as possible. It's entertaining.
Moffat, who has scored a couple of long-range specials, one of them on the last day of the regular season against LA Galaxy. One headline called him Hot Shot Hamish after that.
Very good strike of the ball from distance. There's Brad Davis on the bench. He was gutted after getting injured against Kansas City. Tore the quad muscle on the right side. What a great season he's had, Ian. Certainly they're missing him out there today. Distribution smart on the ball. Referee helping out Beckham there. What's he doing? He's taking all the tape off.
I think it was all wrapped around his upper leg, some kind of bandaging. Beckham doesn't want that anymore. Neither does the referee, and we can get on with the game. To confirm, Beckham was not given a yellow card for that challenge. Keane's got him behind here. He's onside. Tries to shot. First shot, he's put it wide. Big moment, maybe.
Well, I think it was a surprise for everyone, including Keane, as he got put through there. Beats the offside trap. We'll take a look at it again. This is the deflection there. Comes off of Camargo. Keane runs onto it. His footing a little bit off balance there. Wet surface. Doesn't strike it clean. Tries to keep it hard and low. There's the footing. Gets his ball behind it. That strike as it comes down. Great opportunities for LA Galaxy. It continues here into the second half. They really should be up a goal or two at least, Ian, with the chances they've had.
It's been in good form too for club and country, Robbie Keane. 3 goals in 3 matches, including one in the conference final win here against Real Salt Lake. Is Donovan. Galaxy would worry more if they weren't creating chances. McGee. Beckham. AJ De La Garza. Donovan's ball was blocked on the way through. Galaxy haven't won MLS Cup since 2005. That season they finished 14 points behind their rivals in the final, New England, but came out on top, and that's often been the way of it. The side with less points in the regular season have prevailed in the big match. That's happened 9 times when the supposedly inferior side have come out on top, to 5 times the other way round. All a bit tight on that right-hand side. Cameron Stone letting us know that he seems to be okay. It's only an impact injury, and then I put plenty of ice on that and given him quarter of an hour of treatment at half-time. Not sure he's as good as new, but he's good enough. The rain has stopped, thank goodness, now at the Home Depot Centre. They put in extra seats for this final, the capacity 27,000, but they were putting in more and selling more tickets, and they were going very, very fast, as well, as you'd understand. I think that's a good development. The higher seeded team hosts the final each year. I think that's a good development. It'll add to the atmosphere and sense of occasion. Adam Moffat. Pressure from Juninho, the Brazilian, in that midfield. Juninho and Camargo, his opposite number, were in the same Sao Paulo youth system. Danny Cruz on the right-hand side. Looks to take on Donovan, but not too many have been getting the better of him this season. Playing in his 3rd final for LA Galaxy, Todd Donovan. Only he and Landon Donovan survived from that last win in 2005. Donovan's challenge on Cruz didn't show the studs. Ching. Camargo chasing. It's a bit better from Houston Dynamo. They do need a little more by way of creativity going forward.
That's a little bit better, though, from the Brazilian Camargo. He looked a bit hungrier there. He wanted to get forward into the attack, linking up with Brian Ching. The last-minute challenge that came across from Omar Gonzalez. Reading the play, cover and balance and behind. Very good job.
When Camargo has started, and he only made his debut in September, Houston Dynamo have not lost yet. Boswell plays it forward. Camargo spreading the play to Coriash on that left-hand side. Trying to cut in, he can't get a shot away though, and he's hustled out of it by the hard-working Donovan. But are LA Galaxy making hard work of this? Beckham, beautiful ball to Keane. Again, Chrisman is the player waiting in the middle. He was the only one though, and the cross was cut out by Jeff Cameron. Nicely done. Is Ching. For 40 caps for the USA and 11 goals, Ching in his past. Very disappointed not to make the last World Cup squad. Moffat. Houston keep possession. Cruz. McGee's challenge is deemed fair enough. Keep ball from LA Galaxy. Remember, if it stays level after 90 minutes, we go into a 30-minute period of extra time, and if necessary, a penalty shootout. Franklin. In the end, hustled out of it. Coriash has been playing in that left-back position most of the season, doing the work there, but they didn't clear their lines, and Donovan plays it in towards Chrisman once again.
Very well played by Jeff Cameron. Calm, out of the back. They lose it again too easily through Camargo, though.
Here's Beckham. Not one of his better crosses. Cameron was there once again. As a midfield player, he does tend to use the ball rather better out of defence than, well, some other defenders. Let's leave it like that.
Yeah, very well said.
Here's Keane again. Cut up by Haino, who said no to a couple of Canadian caps to concentrate on the playoff campaign. And he's come up with a couple of big goals from right back as well. Now then, Kalen Carr, he needs support around him. Only Ching's there with him, really. In the end, he just has to try his luck with a, well, very speculative effort.
He did the similar thing against Kansas City, too. He had an open opportunity against Kansas City in the last game. He shot straight at the keeper. Here again, using his speed to penetrate down that middle, but he still want to go at the heart of the defense, continue that run.
ESPN's coverage of the 2011 MLS Cup is presented by Adidas and in part by Continental Tire. Innovative technology driving confidence. 56 minutes gone, and still LA Galaxy are not ahead, having started as more than warm favourites for this final. Beckham. Broke back to him, found a lovely ball. Keane, can he do it this time? Robbie Keane, yes he can! LA Galaxy have the lead at last, but a flag is up. A flag is up, and it's not going to count. Keane was offside, and the celebrations are cut short.
As the ball gets played, second chance here for Beckham as he plays it through. He looks like he's even with Cameron, the last defender. Wow. That could have been the opening goal right there. Bad call. Assistant referee looked to be onside, looked even. Robbie Keane thinking he had the first opening goal of this MLS Cup final. Called back.
He looked level, didn't he? And
yeah,
levels onside.
Yep.
And the substitution's taken place amid all of that as well. Chris Birchall has come on to replace the luckless Adam Chrisman. And Corey Ash, into the side netting at the other end.
Well, it made Josh Saunders really get off his feet quickly there. Corey Ash. That's something that Houston do a little bit better. If they get that switch at point of attack, they're going to free it up. Free up more space for him to come forward. Robbie Keane stolen that goal really back in the offside goal.
There's going to be a right row about that.
Yeah, for sure.
If LA Galaxy go on to suffer in this final somehow. It's gone out of play on the far side. Those are always tight calls for the officials. But he went against LA Galaxy. Did look like Robbie Keane was level and therefore onside. Check it out again here.
Yeah, it comes off with Bobby Boswell. Jeff Cameron being the last player. Robbie Keane, as the ball releases, David Beckham's foot. Seems like he's level. He's onside. He's even. Good finish too.
This is better from Houston. Ash to play it in, and it was De La Garza who got it away.
You know, as a defender, the hardest ball to defend in, and I've been in those situations before, is that little ball that bends and it's bouncing before you on the wet surface. You've got to really make sure you get your body behind that and read that. Sometimes for Houston, though, it's like a lazy ball being played in there. It's not really challenging enough.
This one's played deep towards Danny Cruz. Galaxy will be mindful of the fact that 2 years ago they were in the final against Salt Lake, went to penalties, and they lost the shootout. A lot of these players were playing in that game as well. They want to put it right tonight. At the moment, it's just not quite happening for them, although they've dominated this game. Houston looking to keep the ball a little better. Boswell lays it forward, not accurate enough. McGee, now then, again, looking to find Keane, who had pulled into space, but he wasn't found.
Well, those are the things, too, that just because Robbie Keane's making that run, you don't want to force it and turn the ball over too easily. Once you win that ball back, possession, LA have a little bit more patience and keep the ball. Houston getting a little bit more confident right now, Ian. Just get a sense of feel in the last few minutes. Spreading the game out, passing it around, 1 and 2 touch.
Jermaine Taylor towards Ching. One-on-one with De La Garza here. If he could have spun, maybe he'd have got a shot away. As it is, Ash plays it in. And Saunders elects to punch, not too convincingly in truth. Moffat. Good hit, but it's optimistic from that range, even in the form of 1 or 2 of his ex-sets recently.
Well, right now, LA Galaxy dropped off way too deep. Houston taking advantage of that space just in front of them. They're keeping possession well.
Ash doing well again, playing it back to Jermaine Taylor. Now Jeff Cameron. Oh, Cameron's been caught out here. Keane. Can he keep it away from Boswell? It's still Keane. He's got Donovan up there with him. And in the end, it was a cul-de-sac. The covering was great from Moffat.
Well, really, it was a great one-on-one defending for Bobby Boswell. Stood up Robbie Keane. Some sloppy ball giveaways. LA looking to take advantage of that.
Birchall's cross. Laid back. Beckham! Going to be a corner, took a deflection on the way through. Just wonder, is it written in the script for Beckham to get the winner? Sometimes the game is like that.
I said to you before, he's due a free kick. Well, he certainly, he gave this ball the last time to McGee off of this corner on the header.
And it goes a long way, but there was a bit of pushing and shoving on that near post, and Houston can have a little bit of respite.
Yeah, Kalen Carr just cutting in front of Mike McGee there. McGee with the shove. Boy, Bobby Boswell doing such a good job of standing up Robbie Keane. The movement off the ball from Landon Donovan was great. Still, Robbie Keane unable to get that strike on goal. Here's that last look right there. The open space, there's Bobby Boswell. Great experience from him. You see Cameron coming back with Landon Donovan. And then the extra help from Moffat through the midfield. Really working. That's a key team chemistry, that never say die attitude from Houston. That's really helped them in the second part, the latter part of this season, to get where they are today, right here in this final.
Boswell certainly helped his mate out, Cameron, there, because it was Cameron, a rare mistake by Cameron, which could have been very, very costly.
The best teammates off the field, and like you said, Ian, that comes with it on the field. They can yell at each other and tell each other what they like. They respect. Jeff Cameron really looks up to Bobby Boswell. The experience there. Now, some of the decision-making, too, in terms of the substitutions, Dominic Kinnear's got to look at. He brought on Carlos Costley the last game, and he came in and scored against Kansas City to make it 2-0. You've got to think that maybe he will have an opportunity to change Kalen Carr once again.
Gabe Keane, the player who's threatening everything, seems to be ending up with him, though he does have Landon Donovan as a strike partner now. Birchall's gone to the right of the midfield. That's gone out of play. That's the end of that attack. Let's take a look at our midfield meter, brought to you by the Adizero F50, powered by my coach.
You see right there the touches on the ball. David Beckham always involved. Luis Camargo, well, this has been a pretty quiet game compared to Beckham. Look at the completed passes as well. It just tells you who's really in charge through that midfield.
Well, I think Beckham's been the best player on the pitch by some way here, hasn't he?
He has. He's very determined. He's actually been the best player for me throughout this whole year for LA Galaxy. He's shown that time and time again. Loads of quality.
We'll soon whether this is his last appearance, whether he can cap his American adventure, if I can call it that, by winning a title medal. Won 6 with Manchester United and the Champions League, a couple of FA Cups as well, played in 3 World Cups, a La Liga with Real Madrid. It's not a bad career.
No, he's a winner. Very competitive player, great drive. I was speaking to Alex Ferguson when he was here through the summer with Manchester United. Some of the top players he's managed, and he just said, look, David Beckham, he has that inner drive, that winningness.
There were a lot of quotes from Sir Alex this morning in the English newspapers saying what a big job Beckham had done for soccer in America. A little bit on the short side from Haino, the pass back, but it's good enough. He's been very alert back there, Tully Hall, the goalkeeper, whenever he's been needed.
What a great season he's having right now.
He was actually drafted by LA Galaxy in 2007. He was never really going to play for them. He went off to Denmark, never got a game there. And he said to me yesterday, I only ever made 5 starts before this season. But he's just stuck at it, and the breakthrough has come. Juninho is dispossessed by Moffat. Now then, Kalen Carr has been as bright as anybody for me for Houston. Ash too, perhaps. Played in there, and there is Moffat with a header. Now there was the chance for Houston to grab something.
Kalen Carr has very good thoughts, and he moves this ball out wide to Corey Ash. It's a good delivery from Corey Ash, dangerous. Adam Moffat coming out of that midfield. Just does not find the frame of the goal, but he climbs up very well.
It's a good chance, that.
Very good chance.
Yes, Adam Moffat, the Scot, he knows it. You can see that on his face. He knows it. That could have been the moment, and on comes the exotically named Carlos Cosley, the Honduran international, to replace Kalen Carr. Cosley sounds like a character from some kind of soccer soap opera, doesn't it? He did score in the Eastern Conference final. It's been a disappointing season, only 1 other goal, which is why he's not a regular starter for Houston Dynamo. Maybe this is his night. Beckham once again. Lovely ball off the outside of the foot this time to Keane. Birchall is wide. Donovan's waiting in the middle. Looked like he was in an offside position to me when that was played in as well. Didn't matter. Beckham again. Chipped towards McGee. His first touch wasn't that great. And then Cameron getting it away from almost underneath the crossbar. No free kick given. And here's Carlos Cosley, is it? Ching rather. Back to Cruz. Cosley runs into trouble. Now, how frustrating is this, do you think, for Galaxy? Here we are, what is it, 3/4 of the way into the match. They've had a lot of chances, should be ahead, and are not. Now another one may be arriving now. Donovan. Nope.
Loads of space there for Robbie Keane. It's all the distribution of David Beckham. His vision is exceptional. And they are just wasting opportunities, though. 25 yards out from goal, LA. They've got to combine a little bit better and really reward the service they're getting through that midfield from David Beckham. You have to give credit, though, to Houston. They've stood up strong. They've covered for each other. You just got to wonder, though, how long that's going to last, because they're constantly knocking on the door, LA.
Mike McGee. Well defended again by Haino. Yeah, they've ridden their luck a little bit, Houston, but you do have to admire their resilience and the big team ethic that has got them this far. Luis Camargo. Now Carlos Cosley. Again, Corey Ash is the outball. He's finding a bit of space on that left-hand side. Takes on Franklin, gets his cross away. They've already threatened with one of those, that header for Moffat. Wasn't about bit of control, was it, by Ching?
Very good skill from Ching. And Jermaine Taylor, he played that ball in, but he seems to be very far off. They're very worried, Ian, about that counterattack. They're not pushing numbers forward.
Haino. Crosses.
Great skill there from Bobby Boswell. Doesn't get forward often, does he? Look to split the defenders there.
Houston will be thinking we are still in this argument. Juninho looking to get Birchall to run behind. Jermaine Taylor can do the covering. On the two occasions LA Galaxy have won MLS Cup, it was with goals in extra time against New England Revolution on both occasions. Coincidentally, Houston's only 2 wins against the same opponents. Juninho looking to spread this to McGee. Was never favoured in the air against Andre Eno. He's going to be just brought back here with McGee taking a knock as he went up for that header with Eno. You just wonder which way this one might go, don't you? Now, the way things have developed tonight.
Like I said early on, before this game kicked off, the longer it goes 0-0, the more belief that Houston have coming here into the Home Depot Center that they can walk away and nip something. Just one chance they need to get that ball on the frame.
Well, they've had one, haven't they?
Yeah, but they've had a chance, but not on frame, Ian. They haven't tested Josh Saunders.
Should have been on
much
frame.
at all.
Should have been, shouldn't it? On the header. Now Keane again. Donovan has done it. Landon Donovan scores in the final for the 3rd time in his career, and at last, LA Galaxy have their goal.
Well, it comes with the excellent movement off the ball. Landon Donovan benefits from this. The flick off from Beckham to Keane. There's your 3 top prize players. All the expenses paid. And watch this little flick. Tally Hall actually gets a hand to it, but it finds its way in the back of the net. Landon Donovan just picks his moment. He's done it so many times in the Cup final. He knows how to be an exceptional player, and he is a difference maker tonight so far. LA Galaxy find themselves up. They were knocking on the door, Ian, and the goal comes from great combination play. The money spent on Keane, David Beckham, and Landon Donovan. All 3 of those in that play right there combined for the goal.
Well, he's a player for the big occasion and proves it again. Landon Donovan scored in 2001, got 2 in the 2003 final, and now he's got 1 in the 2011 final.
And the mission right now for him, he just yelled at his back line and said, do not drop off this game. Keep a high line. Let's put the pressure on Houston. Don't let them back into it. Great tackle there by Franklin. Very well done.
Now, will that open the floodgates? A sense of relief. I think Bruce Arena must have been tearing his hair out watching the game before that point. Always believing the goal would come, but you do start to wonder when it gets as late as the 72nd minute. But now Houston have to change their approach a little. Moffat. Remember in the game against Real Salt Lake here, the conference final, how they gave away a goal a few seconds after scoring, remember?
Absolutely. You know, that lack of concentration allowed Salt Lake right back into it. So far, Galaxy, they look like they're building on that goal now, Ian.
Eno's challenge on McGee there. He just wiped him out, frankly.
Well, he kept his eye on the ball, Eno. It's a yellow card given out there. Mike McGee was just, basically stationary. But there he just lunges into him. The elbow comes up. He's all over Mike McGee. He's certainly not for a lack of, keeping his eye on the ball and attacking the ball at all. Certainly could have handled it a little bit better.
This might be an opportunity for David Beckham to hit one of his trademark free kicks. It's close enough. You can be sure he's going to have a go.
I'm sure he certainly asked for the 10 yards as well from the referee. Fans enjoying it right now, 1-0 up, 75th minute.
It's quite a good idea, that, isn't it? Just marking that little line on the ground. I think they might try that in the English Premier League. Now it's going to be Beckham. Is this a moment of destiny for him? No, disappointing in the end. Always happens when you give it the big build-up.
Is that the commentator's curse?
Something like that. Gonzalez ball in. He wasn't quite sure of his bearings, did the best he could. But the pressure's off Galaxy a bit here now.
Houston need to do something to change the game. Is it a tactical substitution? Dominic Kinnear and his staff are contemplating that at the moment, but they certainly got to defend right now, Ian, because Galaxy and their fans are feeling it here in the Home Depot Center.
Great scenes, they've started the party. It's not quite over yet, though. Juninho. Juninho doesn't manage to clear it. Moffat did well in there. Camargo forward to Ching. What have Houston got here? That goal was only the second they've conceded in the playoff series so far. This is the fourth match of it. They won away at Philadelphia, they won at Sporting Kansas City, but they find themselves behind to LA Galaxy. They need to launch it long.
Well, there's just no link-up play for Houston, even when Brian Ching's working so hard up there. Balls to service, that comes into a difficult one. He's looking to link up with somebody. Really, they're all dropped off Houston. They're trying to get themselves forward.
Ash, great penetrative run from him. Real turn of pace on that side, but it's going to come to nothing. It's Landon Donovan, though, who once again has come up trumps. The US's all-time leading scorer, LA Galaxy's all-time leading scorer is why.
It was a great ball there from Robbie Keane. Overlapping run. We talk about that run off the ball, the movement. It's very important, and it proved that it was a success right there. That's a kiss to Robbie Keane from Landon, saying thank you so much. Big pickup for the LA Galaxy, signing him up. There's the goals, 3 goals in 4 games. Not too bad, huh?
Colin Clark
in the Cup final.
Yeah, that's great, isn't it? Colin Clark has come on for Danny Cruz. For Houston Dynamo, Clark has had injury problems, hasn't had a lot of football just lately. They have to throw the dice a little now, Houston. Again, muscular presence, winning the header. Boswell's missed out. Here's Donovan, he's got Keane in space, can return the compliment, goes alone! Straight at the goalkeeper. Keane is not too happy.
Well, I think he was looking for the early decision from Landon Donovan to put him through. But once Landon hesitated just a bit, he thought Keane was offside, so on both sides of it, he wanted to get a strike on goal at least, bare minimum.
Keane was trying to check his run to stop straying into an offside position. Yeah, he was, wasn't he, offside? Donovan knew that.
Yeah, Houston just now, they had a restart there and gave the ball away. Just kicked it out of bounds. And one thing I think that's hurting them is Jermaine Taylor is really a natural right footer. And as a left back, he keeps coming back inside to play these balls forward, a different angle. It's not really helping him too much.
Gonzalez wins the header. Worth bringing in the point that during the regular season, LA Galaxy only let in 8 goals all year at the Home Depot Center, and Houston Dynamo need one here. Otherwise, Galaxy came out on top in the standings, will win MLS Cup for the first time in 6 years.
Just going back to tactical changes there. Colin Clark comes in on that left side, the natural left footer. Corey Ash finds himself switching now to the right. And enables him to be really that natural guy that cuts inside across the green. Different dimension. There's Clark on the ball.
Cameron has been pushed further forward, back into his midfield beat. Costly looking for the little reverse ball. All the time, Galaxy now have the luxury of being able to sit back and just look for things on the break if they want. Keane, who will feel he should have had a goal tonight, and he probably should. Rob Stone is with the Houston camp.
John, you talked about tactical changes. Here's another one. They are now going, Houston is, with only 3 in the back. Another thing to keep your eye out for. They had a sub ready, Will Bruin, to come in for Cameron. They're going to keep that in their back pocket for now. But right now, Houston going with just 3 in the back, and looks like they may be making the move for Bruin now.
Here's Keane, that's leaving room behind. Donovan's in there as well. Couldn't find him. Another one, surely, will put this cup in the pocket of Galaxy. Beckham's cross in this time. Costly with a good little turn. Beckham has to get a yellow card.
That was more of a rugby challenge, wasn't it? Carlos Costly doing well to keep possession for Houston. Here it is as he gets across the front of David Beckham. Yeah, it's definitely a good tackle. Really good rugby league tackle there from David Beckham. He'll do anything he can to win that cup.
It's the 11th of the year in terms of yellow cards for Beckham. That one for the team, as they say. Cliche of choice, but true. Friday, December the 2nd, the Euro 2012 draw, available on ESPN News, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN 3 at noon. That's Friday, December 2nd. Let's see who plays who at Euro 2012, available on ESPN, that tournament next summer. Now then, defending for Gonzalez to do under pressure from Carlos Costly.
Hayno, the right back, number 31, winning the first header, flicking it on to Brian Ching. He's done a very good job defending-wise.
Bobby Boswell. Been on a yellow card from early in the game. No further infringements from him. Hayno launches it deep. De La Casa. Donovan. There'll be room now for the LA Galaxy attackers on counters.
Good decision there. Really good decision by Landon Donovan. Just to keep the possession, the one extra pass. Didn't force it through to Virgil, who's making the overlap and run. That's the one thing, the accountability from Landon Donovan. He keeps the ball well.
Another change coming up here for Houston. Siobhan Watson played for 6 years in the Jamaican Premier League and in the Gold Cup earlier in the summer. He replaces Corey Ash. John, just thinking about all these one-goal games LA Galaxy have won this season. I think they've won 12, or of the 12, they've won 11 of them. 11 1-0 wins. Is this going to be another?
They keep it tight. They've got to make sure that their shape is, and their discipline. They're very alert because you know Houston, very physical team, tall, big bodies. They like to counter, and they also like to, have those set pieces in. Plenty of numbers forward, so they don't want to give up any really silly challenges around any fouls around their own 18.
Long towards Ching. Houston live in hope. Crosses a deep one now. Saunders has come for it and didn't win the head of the ball there. Came a long way out of his goal. And it will be a corner.
You see Jeff Cameron coming out of the back and pushing forward, trying to get the equalizer, and he's in the challenge. He needs some corner. This is what I was talking about.
This
Moffat's taking the place of Brad Davis on the corner, so you got to see if it's a good ball, first of all.
Houston's first corner taken by Moffat. And the goalkeeper looked to come for that and then didn't go.
Well, it was actually out of bounds. The way that Moffat swung it in, the assistant referee put his flag up straight away. So it bent behind the end line.
It went out of play on its journey, that corner kick, according to the officials. Being questioned by one of the Houston players. Five minutes remaining. LA Galaxy 5 minutes away from calling themselves champions of the United States. Certainly nobody could deny them that title on what's happened during the year. They have been the outstanding side. Moffat once again. Again, they choose to go direct it towards Costley. Ching on the turn. A moment of inspiration perhaps needed. Clark feeding it down that side in towards Jude on the near post. Cameron was arriving as well. Slightly more nervy for the Galaxy fans now.
Yeah, great defensive play there by Omar Gonzalez to cut out that cross. Big time play right there from Gonzalez. Defender of the Year honors. He was Rookie of the Year in 2009. And like you said, Ian, he is trying to impress Jurgen Klinsmann with the U.S. national team, trying to get in there. You might see him in a January camp.
Maybe.
Now I'm pretty sure he will be.
He says he's disappointed every time he sees a U.S. roster with his name not on it. That's a natural reaction, but there's still time for him.
Well, he's done well. I mean, he and AJ De La Garza, you got to give credit to as well, the other center back for LA. He's really a good defender. That tandem from University of Maryland all the way to here has provided some good success for the LA Galaxy in the back line.
Donovan. Moffat, the Houston Dynamo. It's going to be a long bus ride back for those fans who've travelled all this way if their side do not prevail, but they must have feared the worst on the form book. It's always a tall order to come here and try and win when no team has done that all through this calendar year.
Well, you also look at, you know, the Galaxy, when they're tied at halftime, they've won their last 8 games. And they were 0-0 going in before the half.
Moffat playing it forward. Houston need possession, need players to get forward. Cameron to Jermaine Taylor.
See how Jermaine Taylor again cuts back inside on that right foot. He naturally doesn't open up lefty. Find Clark down that left side. Actually helping on the Galaxy when he does that. He's coming back inside here. Got to stretch him and get down the line a little bit more and open up the game.
We're running out of time, Houston. Moffat again looking to go the direct route. By the way, the attendance, 30,281, is a record for the Home Depot Center. They put extra seats in, as I was telling you earlier. Not away here. Foul for Watson. Look at Beckham. And that's a foul by Haino, who's already in the book.
David Beckham's just his extra energy, that little bit to go a little bit further than anybody else. He gets to the ball. That's great desire right there. That's a player that is so committed to showing his players what he wants to do, and that's winning that MLS Cup title. That is brilliant from David Beckham.
Touch and go for Haino, though, with a yellow card already. The referee took a benevolent view. There'll be 3 minutes of added time at the end here. We're in the last minute of normal time. Is the title heading to Tinseltown? Certainly looks like it. Hammered away by Bobby Boswell, not far though, back to a white shirt. Donovan again looks to have it onto Keane. He wants a goal to mark what would be a tremendous week for him. European Championship qualification with Ireland and an LA Galaxy title win. The only thing Keane's ever won before in a distinguished career is the League Cup with Spurs. It is 3 minutes of stoppage time. That is confirmed. Playing towards Ching. Doesn't have much of a look in from those defenders. Seem to want to keep the ball here, though, to stop it. Keep on coming back at them. Now then, it might be something. No. The only thing there is a free kick for LA Galaxy. There's a sense of expectation. They've waited a long time for this. They turned up tonight thinking they were going to see a bit of history made, and at the moment it looks as if that will happen. Landon Donovan's goal, the difference.
Well, Bruce Arena looking to make this his third championship.
Be a record. Dominic Kinnear is opposite number tonight, has 2, so too Frank Yallop and Siggy Schmidt. Serena would be out on his own with 3.
Well, in their eyes, it would be basically mission accomplished. LA set out to stall early on to bring in the right players. Bruce Arena changed his club around completely when he came in. It was a disaster prior to that. Tim Lewicki signed them up. Beckham, Keane, Landon Donovan. Landon getting the goal tonight. They've all contributed. It's been a good run this year for LA. Still time left on the clock though for Houston.
And then Beckham in what is now the last minute of added time. Now with what might be his final kick for LA Galaxy. His free kick, and the goalkeeper stops the fairy tale ending. Tally ho now. That would have been almost impossible to believe.
It's such a great strike. Tally Hall gets across very well. It was definitely going into the goal. And you sometimes think, like, is it smarter for him to just keep possession there and not have the strike on goal? Well, it's David Beckham. You know, he feels it. You got to let him do it. Great experience, and what a excellent dead ball situation for him. They strike that on the frame.
I think Galaxy are there. They'll keep the ball in the corner here. Surely now. The USA didn't the other night when they were a goal to the good in Slovenia.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was referring back to. They could have kept the ball in the corner. They didn't. They took the risk of some things being thrown at Landon Donovan there. He's complaining.
He's saying things are being thrown.
Yeah.
Complains to the referee and gets a yellow card for time wasting. Now, I'm not sure about that because, I mean, they are, by the look of it, just paper cups, but being thrown presumably by those Houston fans. And you don't want to see that. The whistle goes. LA Galaxy are the champions. It's glittering Galaxy, and Landon Donovan is the match winner. The players who knew so much heartache 2 years ago, losing the final to Real Salt Lake, well, this time they have done it.
Landon Donovan in his last year of his contract in, the 5th year of a 5-year deal, the storybook ending that they wanted, and it's all unfolded here today.
A third MLS title for Bruce Arena and a storybook finish for David Beckham, who ends his 5-year contract with Galaxy by winning his first title. He's now
won titles in 3 different countries, the first Englishman to do so since Trevor Stephen, who did it for Everton, Marseille and Rangers in Scotland. That's what it means to these players who've worked all year for this. Came out on top at the table. This was the big one, to win the playoffs, to bring the title to Galaxy, and that's exactly what they've done.
Well, Landon Donovan came through big time, Ian. He's done it so many times. Big players show up at big times in games, and he was the man. What a finish it was off of Beckham and Robbie Keane to make the difference today. They are champions, LA.
Robbie Keane gets his first American title only a few months after arriving, and only a few months too after being relegated from the English Premier League with West Ham United. He'll be thinking he should have scored tonight.
Well, at the end of the day, when your team wins, it doesn't matter. Of course, he missed chances, but they are the title champions of 2011. They do it on their home surface. It's a great feeling. The fans are loving it.
And not only winners here, but a successful brand around the world, it would seem now, too. They're going off to Asia within the next week. They're playing Australia as well.
Great support right there. The story from Donovan Ricketts and Josh Saunders. You know, Donovan Ricketts was injured in 2009. Saunders went in as a goalkeeper. They lost that cup final. He's earned the right to play in goal tonight. But David Beckham, will he stay for next year? And once he's won this title, that's the big question.
Now Monica Gonzalez is out on the field with Robbie Keane.
Robbie, up until about minute 72, you guys were dominating, but you weren't able to get a goal in. We could tell you were a little bit frustrated. What were you doing out there to keep your cool?
No, just about keep going. You obviously you get some chances. I wasn't too sure whether I was offside on my goal. I had one just before that. I should have hit the target, but you know, nevertheless, I set Landon up for his goal. Then, you know, we won the championship, so that's the most important thing.
Yeah, you have had now officially a pretty incredible week. Describe your emotions.
Very tiring week, to be honest with you. I was a bit tired tonight. The travelling, obviously. The travelling got to me a little bit towards the end of 6 games in 2 weeks, so it was a bit tough for me tonight. I felt a bit tired, but we won, so that's the main thing.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Well, let's meet the man of the moment as well, David Beckham, a title winner in America, who's with Rob Stone.
Well, David, you and Landon had a very impactful embrace when the whistle blew. What did you guys say to each other?
It's about time. You know, we've been fighting this for a few years now. And I'm glad all the hard work this season's paid off, because we've been incredible.
Describe for us the stress level that was going on this season, with this being your last year and MLS Cup being played here in LA.
None with me, none at all. You know, I played a game to win. Whether I stay or not, you know, I've had an amazing 5 years. I've loved it here. The fans have been unbelievable. The owners have been unbelievable. Players, every one of them are heroes tonight. We've been incredible all season, and this has capped it off.
How does this result impact your future decision on whether to stay or go?
However, I've said that all the way along, that, you know, it doesn't matter what happens at the end of this season. People were talking about, if I didn't win tonight, it was going to be a disappointment and, you know, and not a successful 5 years. There's quite a few people, which is always nice.
David, we appreciate your time. Congratulations.
David Beckham, whether I stay or not, he says. Has he not made up his mind yet? Well, lots to discuss, but Galaxy are the champions, and who could argue that they didn't deserve it? Let's go back to Alexi, Taylor and Alejandro, who are with Max Bretos.
Thank you, Ian. And the image of Beckham and Donovan embracing at midfield, probably the lasting one from this competition, this game. Those two didn't always see eye to eye when they're members of the Galaxy, but they put it all together, Alexi, and finally, after 2 years of knocking on the door, able to break through.
You know, it's been a tremendous ride, a tremendous adventure. You see Tim Lywicki there. Brought David Beckham over, paid the money. Incredible challenges on and off the field, but ultimately, this night is what it was all done for.
We saw some justice. The best team of MLS all season long.
And of the night.
And of tonight. How often, Alexi, you said it in pregame, MLS, crazy things happen, but it's about time the best team, Supporter Shield winner, won the MLS Cup.
It was the most dominant team in MLS throughout the year. They were far and away the best team, the more consistent team. It was a deserving champion, and certainly congratulations to the LA Galaxy organization.
I also think that this Galaxy team learned over the past couple of years how to go out there with that target on their back and how to function and play with that type of pressure of being the biggest club in MLS.
Yes.
With all the money, with all the players, because it's not easy to do, and credit to Bruce Arena for what he did with this team, the strings that he pulled. It was an amazing, amazing feat. Despite the fact that this isn't a very expensive team, it's not easy to manage that type
and
of
everyone
team.
wants to say, oh, they got 3 DPs, they got 3 best players maybe in MLS. You still got to manage them. You still got to do your job, go on the field. That's why they play the games. They were the class of MLS this year.
And in this game, a huge gap between their talent and Houston, and it showed on the field. But even then, nothing is guaranteed, and the Galaxy, even late with no score, found a way to win it 1-0, the goal by Landon Donovan. Third MLS Cup trophy for the Galaxy. And now it is time to hand the trophy to the MVP, Rob Stone, with the winner. Set it down.
Thank you. We're joined by Tim Mahoney from Volkswagen for the presentation of the MLS Cup Most Valuable Player Award. Mr. Mahoney.
Thanks. On behalf of Volkswagen, I'm really pleased to present to Landon Donovan the 2011 MVP.
Landon, you and David have had an interesting relationship through the 5 years. Tell me about the moment when that final whistle blew and the two of you embraced.
Well, let me tell you something about David that not a lot of people know. He pulled his hamstring earlier in the week, and he was basically playing on one leg tonight. And, he put in a warrior-like effort, and I'm real honored to play next to him tonight.
Take us through the amount of pressure you guys have had to deal with all season long, knowing this is his last year. MLS Cup here at home.
Yeah, that's part of this job. We've got unbelievable ownership group who is behind us. I think better than any team in this league. Tim Lewicki gives us everything we need in every way. He spends the money, he's behind us, and we're glad that it paid off tonight.
You guys were knocking on that door in the first half and the second half. Take us through the developments of the game's only goal.
Yeah, well, give Houston a lot of credit. They made the game very difficult, and there's no question that not having Brad Davis really hurt them. Game probably would have looked different with him in there. But Robbie got the ball, I made a run, and he played me a fantastic ball. Everybody knows he's known for his finishing, but that pass was class, and we won.
Landon, congratulations, go enjoy. Good seeing you again. Max?
Thank you, Rob, and we know about the crowd here in Los Angeles. No one's heading to the exits. They want to enjoy every last drop of this as a trophy presentation for the Galaxy. Landon Donovan really didn't do much in this game. He scored the goal, and that changed it all.
That's the only thing he's supposed to do. Honestly, we talked a lot about David Beckham, but that is the best American player to ever play this game. Big game, shows up. 20 career playoff goals. Enough said.
He took it to the house tonight. He did what he had to do. Showed up in a big moment. Great run off the ball. Good ball by Robbie Keane. Great finish.
Yeah, we've seen this from Landon Donovan before, where he seemingly disappears from games only to arrive when they really need him in that moment. This club needed him today, and we saw the result.
It's the best spot of a goal scorer. Show up when you need it.
And this team, I mean, their patience was tested. They had the goal disallowed. Looked like it probably should have been a good goal, but they kept peppering that Houston goal and got the breakthrough, and they lift their third MLS Cup, and it has been a long 6 years. We'll be back here at the Home Depot Center to the victor, the spoils, the trophy, going to LA when we return.